But yeah, so like for me, as somebody that played mainline, um, the appeal to this was, oh, it's a monster collector because I love monster collecting RPGs in general, and then also just, oh, it's it's turn-based, it's a new combat system. We're getting new animations. We're able to see this world of Monster Hunter through a very different scope. And just like riders conceptually, I really, really like. Um, I honestly like the concept of monster riders more than Monster Hunters.
I
So
saw this game like when it released. Like I was aware of its existence, and I was kind of like, all right, looks interesting. I could give it a try. But it wasn't until you started talking this game up and like convincing me to play it that I'm like, all right, maybe this could be a fun time.
well, I think because when I first started going to your streams on Twitch, it was like the beginning of 2021. So I think we were anticipating Rise. We already knew that Stories 2 was coming out because they were announced during the same direct. So I think I was like on like a very big Monster Hunter hype train.
So that is, yeah, that's another good point. I was already playing Rise before this game, wasn't I?
Yeah, but I also got you to play Rise because I was like, oh, I'm really excited for Monster Hunter Rise. And then Stories 2 is going to be a couple months later. And you were like, I've always wanted to try playing Monster Hunter, but I've never found like the commitment or a person to help walk me through it because it's not easy. And I said, reach out to me if you do. And then Raptor ended up reaching out to me saying that you had both bought it. I think like a week after it had come out.
Yeah, that sounds right. Oh, we're doing this again? I'm using Zamtrios' kinship to get a refresher. Oh, okay, I vaguely remember this. I don't know why that one took a while to remember. That one's like a mid-tier.
It's also an AoE, which is really nice.
Yeah, the AoE is definitely good, yeah.
Yeah, because I think like Zamtrios is AoE, Rathian's is AoE.
When he like puffed up, I was like, oh no, this is gonna suck. And then I'm like, oh nah, it's pretty pog at the end, so.
It's great. I love that he like puffs up. That's like the best newbie surprise when you fight him in Foryu or Genyu, because you've already been surprised by the ice armor, and then he just puffs up into this giant ball, and just watching somebody's reactions is great.
This is the culprit behind all the broken rocks. We got it now, buddy. You ready? I totally forgot what we were doing here. We're like stopping some rock slide or whatever.
This is subquest central for a good while. It might honestly be the whole stream. Depends on how far we get.
Barroth, I know this isn't your fault, but I have to protect my home. We're not done rebuilding yet. We're not about to sit by and let it trouble the merchant any longer either. Alright, let's do this. You are a power, I believe.
Nope.
Oh no, you used to be heavily wrong.
That's the one that throws most people off. They're like, why is Barroth speed?
A nice one, Frostfang. New analysis. You are speed. The nice life suit.
Oh yeah, Gina's Joy-Con drift can kill you in Monster Hunter. Like literally. It can be really bad.
You use Joy-Cons when you play? I never...
I don't own a classic controller.
Oh, really?
No, I don't, like, they're $70. And then, like, I have one of those GameCube adapters. Like, for PC, and it also works on my Switch. So, like, there was never an incentive for me to, like, buy a ton of controllers, and I had the pair of Joy-Cons that came with my Switch, and then I bought a second pair to do 4-player Mario Party. So I was like, I have 4 controllers, I don't need to buy another one. I was very tempted to buy the Sunbreak Pro controller with the Malzeno design on it, but I think I lost my chance to get it.
Oh, was it like a limited offer?
I think so. I think you can still find it online, but it's like increasing in price, and I don't know. I just like, I don't want to like pay too much. for game stuff right now, especially since like I recently just bit the bullet and bought the Mystery Dungeon remake, and I was like, I don't want to pay more than like $40 for it, and I had to pay 50 because it never goes on sale.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
I just haven't, like, I obviously use Joy-Cons, but then I got a Pro Controller, and I just haven't used Joy-Cons since.
that's what I've heard, is like everybody that got a Pro Controller is like, yeah, like it's just a better way to play almost everything because there's not a lot of games that require you to use a Joy-Con.
Barroth love rolling in the mud. Bad news, it stinks. Good news is it makes them vulnerable to water elemental attacks. When they're not in the mud, use fire attacks. Try switching monsters. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So this is kind of going into that whole, it's not just about the tendencies, it's also about elements.
Interesting.
Oh, Genus, you have a Switch Lite, so then you don't have a choice at all whatsoever.
Oh, yeah, that is true. Switch Lite.
I think I bought my Switch when they had announced the Switch Lite, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm buying my Switch for Smash Bros. Like, there's no reason for me to... And I didn't have a PlayStation at the time either.
I think Smash was the first game I got for my Switch, too.
I got like the Smash version, where it like came bundled in with the dock. Yeah.
I might have two, actually. I don't remember. Or I don't even know if I did that, or I just got both at the same time.
Yeah, I got that, and then I also bought Pokken and Mario Kart. That was my first Switch purchase.
Same on Pokken. Didn't get Mario Kart. I actually just got Mario Kart this year, so I'm a little late for that boat.
I know, Raptor was like, I finally got him to get it. But it's like the same thing for me with the Mystery Dungeon remake, right? Like, you already owned it on a different console, basically, and you didn't want to have to spend... basically the same amount of money to buy it again for something else.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it just never failed.
Yeah, because I had Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U, and I was just like, yeah, I mean, it looks neat, but I don't think I'm going to buy it again because I haven't played Mario Kart in a while.
Yeah. And it's like, imagine how many more people would have bought Mario Kart if they, like, had it go on sale for, like, $30 when the DLC comes. They probably would have gotten a lot more.
Yeah, that's a fair...
Because then it's like you're still getting like 50 to 60 bucks out of people, but you're getting more people. That's like Nintendo's not the greatest when it comes to business models. Like, we know that, but
yeah, I sort of think so too.
But yeah, I mean, my thing with purchasing games right now is I don't plan on getting anything until Crisis Core Reunion. I'm definitely getting Crisis Core Reunion whenever it comes out this winter.
I'm pretty pumped for that.
So am I. So that is like my big thing, and I'm just kind of like, because I had a bunch of games that I bought in July, and then I just got the Mystery Dungeon remake, and then I also have my R4, which just has like 75 DS games on it now. And my Tales of backlog that I want to do before my Xenoblade backlog, so
right.
I got a lot. But I did actually, because the one thing that I would maybe get before Crisis Core Reunion is looking at the 3DS library and seeing if there's anything that I want to grab at least before March.
The store's like closing down or something.
Yeah, it closes down in March, but because my my Switch and my 3DS are on the same account, I can still add funds to it. Because like, if they're separate, you can't anymore. It's done. I think actually you can still use credit card, but you can't use the eShop card. So I actually wanted to talk to you and Raptor, but Raptor's not here, about just like 3DS recommendations, and I specifically wanted to ask you and Raptor a little bit, but more so you, because I think Raptor's a bit more positively biased on it. Shadows of Valentia.
Okay. Yeah, Raptor is definitely gonna be like, oh yeah, this game is great. By the way, Raptor could be lurking. It's what he does best.
Yeah, but he's not using a lurk emote, so
either way, yeah, I know what you mean. But there's been times where I'm like, yo, Raptor, you're here. It's just it's your thing to lurk. But anyway, Shadows of Valentia. I enjoyed it. I thought the story was like good enough. It wasn't like the best thing ever, but I thought the story was good enough. I liked the two protagonists, Alm and Celica. I thought they were neat. And the characters, like, they were fine. I didn't really hate I hated like 2 or 3 characters in that game. I do feel like they kind of dropped the ball on giving every character a backstory, and there's a lot of characters, so not all of them feel like they don't really get equal screen time. But overall, I think they were fine, like, to good. Like, there were some good characters, and some of them were just, like, good enough, you know? My issues with Shadows of Valentia, some of the map designs were really infuriating. Like, some of the map designs, like, I think there was, like, 3, like, maps that were just really, I thought they were pretty terrible. I think Raptor would disagree with me because it's, like, his favorite Fire Emblem game. But, there were, like, 3 maps that I really didn't like in that game, and I thought they were, like, just really terrible, and, like, they just made me frustrated that I just didn't want to play the game anymore. Mostly because, like, they, I think some of them, like, spam reinforcements and stuff, and then it just gets, and, you know, Fire Emblem's got their whole permadeath thing. But Shadows of Valentia is a game, there's 2 things that can make that better. Shadows of Valentia is, like, it's one of the games that, like, you could choose classic or casual. Casual would be, like, units don't permanently die, and, obviously classic is how it normally is. But they also have this thing called the Miller's Turn Wheel, which lets you rewind time, and if someone, like, dies, because, like, you know, anyone could die from, like, anything. If it's, like, a crit or something and you want to, like, redo that turn, you could. Which is a really nice addition. That's also something that 3 Houses does. They have, like, a reset, thing. It doesn't let you redo the whole fight, but, like, you can, like, redo a turn if you want to, like, you know, correct a mistake you did or someone died from, like, a critical hit. So it definitely is, of all the Fire Emblem games, it definitely is one of the most forgiving, I guess, because it doesn't have permadeath as... You don't have to do permadeath. Like, you can work around it by, like, either choosing casual, or you'll have that turn wheel thing. But there are some maps that, like, I really didn't like, but other than that, I thought it was a good game.
Okay.
But, like, Raptor's gonna give you a completely different opinion than that.
Yeah. We can continue with there's probably gonna be a cutscene after this, so we can continue with that and then talk after.
We could, yeah. Thank you, you fought with grace and determination. Now we can carry on rebuilding the village.
You're doing well.
Yeah, you know, we're happy to help, but just look at my fur. I'm covered in mud. Alright. No one cares about your fur, Navarro.
We did it, buddy! Now the Popo can get through the cave, and the shop can keep on running!
Thanks for your help. Getting the shop back to normal will mean a lot to the owner, and it'll bring back some hustle and bustle to our village.
Your village has come a long way since it was destroyed. It must have been really hard on you.
It was. Although Frostfang and I spent some time away from the village, too.
Really? Why, if you don't mind me asking?
When I came back to the village with Frostfang after we bonded, listen, everyone!
Avinia, move away from that monster!
We can't sustain any more damage to the village.
He won't do any harm!
How do you know it's not blighted? It's too much risk. We won't allow it.
If he's not allowed in the village, then I'm leaving too. And so I left my beloved village, so that I might stay together with Frostfang.
I can't believe they didn't trust you and your monstie!
The Black Blight didn't just destroy our village. It also destroyed people's trust in monsters.
That's terrible!
Seeing you and Ratha makes me remember how it felt to be with Frostfang back then. But no matter what happens, you must believe in your monstie.
We'll prove that Ratha has nothing to do with that spooky legend. You'll see! Okay, gang, it's back to the chief. My paws are sore from walking. Let me hop on, Fuzzfangs.
Get denied.
Hey, no need to be so frosty with me.
You deserve it. Alright, that was something. The Black Plague was like a disease or something? Like, what exactly was that again?
So that was the conflict point for the first game. Whereas in this game, the name hasn't been given to you yet, but it's the red light. It basically functions the exact same way as the black light, but they don't call it the black light and they use a different color, but it's basically the same.
Oh, okay. Alright. But anyway, Shadows of Valentia, I am gonna sum it up like this. It was, I don't want to make it sound like I'm hating the game, because I definitely didn't hate the game. I liked the game, but I definitely didn't, it was, like, far from perfect. Bottom line, it was a good game. It was worth a play. If you like strategy games, then I think it's worth it. Yeah,
that's the thing is I'm half decent with it. Like, I've never actually played a Fire Emblem game. I have Shadow Dragon on the DS.
I never played that one.
I think that's a remake of the very first one.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, I didn't play Awakening on the 3DS. I never played Three Houses on the Switch, which a lot of people say good things about Three Houses. I'm just like, I don't know. I saw the social sim stuff and I was like, you know me with
I'm not gonna recommend Three Houses. I like Three Houses. I don't think that game is, like, honestly, I don't think it's perfect either. Three Hopes is amazing. But Three Houses, I like the game still, but when I was talking about Shadows of Valentia, I actually don't like Three Houses more than Shadows of Valentia, because Three Houses has some, like, pacing issues, and I'm not 100% on the story. I do like the cast of Three Houses, but that's about, like, really what I like, and the strategy gameplay is fine. But you not liking the social sim stuff of Persona, it's not as heavy as Persona is, but I definitely wouldn't recommend it, knowing how you are with Persona 5.
Yeah. Because, like, that is, like, the major roadblock that is preventing me from picking up Persona 5 for the foreseeable future. Like, I would rather play, like, every Tales of game that I own now, which may or may not include Dawn of a New World before...
I hate you. I really hate you.
Hey, it's not my fault. It was bundled in.
Oh, yeah, you got, like, the bundle with it, yeah.
Yeah, it's not my fault.
All right, give it a go and quit at, like, the first 2 hours.
No, actually, because Ariana's bringing up that Raptor loves SMT, I will play through SMT 5. I did play, like, the first hour, and I wasn't hooked, which is why I haven't gone back to it. But I will finish it at some point. I made that promise. But I might try, because I have the first two Devil Survivor games on DS. So I think I might try Devil Survivor 1 on my R4 because I have it for free. And then, depending on how I feel about it, I might get Overclocked before.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna actually, Overclock's my next SMT game because it's Raptor's favorite game of all time.
Right. Yeah, so I figured, and even Flygon was like, yeah, it's an overhaul remake of 1 that makes 1 obsolete. So I'm like, okay, I'll try 1, see how much I like 1, and then if I like 1 enough that I want to play Overclock, I'll get Overclock. And I think the other one that I'm looking at, I know it's a bad game going into it, but Fossil Fighters Frontier, just because I'm loving the first one. I still haven't finished the first one, but the first one's fantastic. And then I've heard that Champions is even better. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking for 3DS stuff. I think everything else like that I want I've already played, or is Tales of the Abyss.
Ah, yes, Tales of the Abyss.
I have to. It's like it's hard because I'm like, oh, I wanna like. I mean, I've been playing a bunch of Mystery Dungeon DX, but I think I'm gonna put it down for a while because I like did a good chunk of the story, of the main story. But it's like I could play Sunbreak, I could play Abyss. I could finish Fossil Fighters, or
Man, I love that kinship.
I could pick up, because I have my PlayStations again, which means that I could, instead of Abyss, go for
You
Zilia.
could do that too.
Like, I want to do Abyss because you're going to be streaming Abyss in like a month, and I actually want to watch it.
I'll be streaming Abyss, yeah, right after Final Fantasy VI.
Exactly. So, yeah, there's like a conflict of interest there, because I'm also like, oh, I wanted Zilia. But then, again, Sunbreak just takes up so much time. Like, Sunbreak is the priority because I've been putting it off for too long.
Makes you stronger.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, Arietta, that's like what I've heard, and it's not necessarily like people will say that they don't like Zestiria, but when they give like their actual reasons for why they don't like Zestiria, it sounds more like, oh, like every other game is stellar, so this one just like seems really bad in comparison. So you definitely shouldn't play it as your first Tales of game, but it just looks bad compared to the other ones, and it's like more of like reasons that it's a weak entry than like an objectively bad game. I don't know how you like fully felt on that. But
I
that's
just,
like
yeah,
that's pretty,
I think
on what
Zestiria is just fine.
yeah. Like, I mean, you've said like, oh, like it shouldn't be anybody's favorite because then they'd be crazy. But
Yeah, someone would be out of their mind to say it's their favorite.
yeah. No, but I have like every mainline Tales of game from Symphonia onward except for Hearts R.
Yeah. Yeah, Zestiria is like... The gameplay is like nothing phenomenal, but it's Tales of gameplay. The gameplay's still fun. The story is nonsense, IMO, and the characters are like meh to okay. Like there's like 2 characters I like from Zestiria, but most of them are either meh or just pretty bad. And the protagonist I do not like. I don't like Saray, like at all.
I've heard that he's like probably the weakest protagonist.
Definitely like the worst protagonist in Tales of.
At least post Symphonia, because I really don't know anything about like Destiny, Eternia, Legendia, like those ones.
Yeah, the thing is with like other protagonists, like I give like Fantasia. I'm not really the biggest Fantasia fan because I never even finished Fantasia. I got to the final dungeon and just stopped. But I give those kind of main characters a pass because they're older games. Like they didn't really do anything groundbreaking with their protagonist. But Saray, like as far as the games, as you said, post Symphonia. Like, I don't even think Lloyd is, like, that great of a protagonist, but I think Lloyd is definitely, like, fine. Although I'm a little biased to Lloyd because he got me into Tales of, but, you know.
Yeah. No, because I know that, like, Chaos didn't really care about Lloyd at all.
Yeah,
and,
Chaos does
like,
not like Lloyd.
He played Symphonia, like, I think, at least after the 2 Zilias.
I'm pretty sure Symphonia was his first game.
I thought Zilia was.
Was it Zilia? It was one of them.
Zilia came out before the Symphonia remake, like the PS3 remake.
It was either Zilia or Symphonia, but I think he played both of them before Zilia 2.
I know they were like some of his earliest playthroughs. Like if you look.
Yeah, I think I looked back. I think Symphonia or Zilia. One of them was his first. I thought it was Symphonia, but maybe it was Zilia. I don't recall.
But I mean, he loves Zilia. He's played it twice, and he still needs to play it a 3rd time because he still hasn't done Mila's story. But
Zilia is really good. I love Zilia so much. 4th favorite Tales game for a reason.
And then like even like what I've seen of Core as like getting back to the protagonist thing, like Core seemed like a fine protagonist. Like he didn't stand out, but he didn't seem bad either.
Yeah, Core. Yeah, I like Core. I would say I think Barrow, it's kind of hard because I didn't like Barrow in the beginning, and Barrow kind of grew on me as the game went on, but they are easily like 2 of my least favorites. Like, Core was fine. He was a good enough protagonist. He got like some of the late game, like he had some like nice, some stuff he did was neat, but like at the end of the day, definitely like he's not a bad protagonist, but he's definitely like not up there with my favorite Tales of protagonists, but he was fine. I didn't dislike him.
Like I think my favorite characters from because I only got to like the first 30 parts. are like 34 parts, so I still have like 120 parts.
Yeah, there's
left.
like 154.
Yeah. So, but the characters that appealed to me the most were Inez and Gaul.
I'm not gonna spoil, but Ines is definitely up there for me.
Yeah. No, because I know
Yeah.
there's one skit like right after she joined the group that you were like, I hate this skit, and I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, dude, just wait. Later in the game, there's a skit I skipped. There was a skit I skipped. I'm not even kidding. That first skit was like, all right, you know what? Like, you had the gag once. I didn't really prefer it. Like, I would have rather you not have it, but I let it go. There was a skit in the second one that was like that first skit, but to the extreme. And there was a side quest that did that, and I just like, well, the side quest I didn't skip. But I skipped that skit because I was just like, dude, I don't like this. It just makes me uncomfortable. Like,
because they were talking about the bags of gold.
Yeah,
then,
the bags of gold and stuff, and they had the sound effects. I think the side quest had sound effects with it, and I was just like, dude, no. So yeah, I didn't like that. Honestly, that's my biggest problem with Ines is that they kind of over-sexualize her a bit. Like, they just go a bit too far. Other than that, no, Ines is top quality.
Yeah, and then Gaul's really funny.
Gaul is pretty great too.
I feel like Gaul's very important, and the fact that he wasn't in the original Hearts, like, I can't imagine playing the original Hearts.
Oh yeah, me neither. What am I doing? Where's Basarios? I'm trying to bring Basarios back in.
He's like level 20, so he's gonna be on your first page. Like,
oh,
towards
19,
the top.
there he is. I was taking Nursilla out because he seems cool, but I'm probably not gonna use him as the party. And I just like Basarios. Ooh, hard Tyrant Anjanath. Do you think I'm a good level to go fight Tigrex? Because I kind of want to get some gameplay.
Yeah, no, we can go and do Tigrex. You can definitely do Monoblos. I think Monoblos is easier than Tigrex.
Now, question: where is Tigrex located? Because I don't remember.
So the fun thing is, there's actually 4 different Tigrexes in that area. The easiest one to get to is in the I think you go to Alcala Valley. It's either the valley or the highland spawn point, and then you head towards Rudo Village.
Maybe when I see the area, I'll recognize it. I just don't remember what it's called. Hisui took a while for me. Hisui is definitely like... Hisui definitely took some growing on me to do, yeah.
He's too much of a syscon,
Yeah.
from what I've seen.
Hisui... Hisui is kind of like almost unlikable in the beginning, and he gets a little better. He'd probably still be at the... I think my ranking of the characters was... I think Barroth was last place, Core was second to last, and maybe Hisui was right before Core.
Yeah, you need to turn around. You need to go the opposite direction on that path.
Oh, okay.
Back across the bridge.
Oh, hey, you're Royal Ludroth, I think.
Okay, so this is the wrong spawn point. So it's the Highlands. The Highlands is the one.
Highlands, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the Highlands, and then you want to head east towards the village. And Naviru will probably let you know when you're near the Tiger.
Oh yeah, he does that. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I can only assume I'm going the right way.
Check the map. If you're heading west, you're going the wrong way. You're heading west.
East. East. Definitely top 3 Hearts characters are Shaw, Ines, and Kohaku in no particular order.
Look, Gina's Tigrex is great. He's fantastic in stories. He is fantastic in mainline. There's a reason we call him the Pain Train.
I vaguely remember his design. I think I remember liking it.
Yeah, no, it's like the way I describe Tigrex is that it is the beauty of simplicity. It's a very simple design, and it's a very simple fight.
Oh yeah, the Royal Monster appeared. I think I found him.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's by the
Hey,
trees.
buddy, let's do some combat. It's been a hot minute.
Now remember, when
Oh, I got a back
Tigrex
attack. Let's go.
when Tigrex gets mad, he's gonna hit you twice in one turn. So you need to prepare around that if you can.
I want to say your speed. But I can't know because you're back attacked.
Yeah, it doesn't matter this first turn.